Hi everyone, today we're going to be reacting to the video gaming's biggest grifter finally exposed by Smuggle On, and let's get into it.
Crash and Burn Gaming, oh boy.
Oh, Anita Sarkeesian.
Hey, what's she doing?
When it comes to video game crash and burns, they really don't get much more spectacular than this one. It would be no exaggeration to say that Anita Sarkeesian was one of the most influential, divisive, and widely hated figures in the whole industry. A name that's practically become the Lord Voldemort of the gaming world.
When I saw her shit-talking people who enjoyed Bayonetta, I knew she was not one of us. How fucking dare you?
Conjuring up memories of bitter online culture wars, horrifyingly unlikable girl bosses, DEI struggle sessions, corporate mandated activism, and of course, absolutely shameless online grifting.
Guys, let me read this for you, chat. Hey, CD Projekt Red in 2019. I'm always available for consulting. Because it sure sounds like you might need it before the whole internet drags you. For it sounds like some potentially sexist representations. Which
nobody cares.
You've struggled with in the past.
Oh my god. Shut up.
Who asked? Last time I checked, CD Projekt Red has never gotten into shit. Who fucking cares? Again, chat, it's a mafia. It is unironically a mafia. They coerce you, they try to gaslight you because they want money.
Grifting. A woman who once spoke in front of the United Nations, who had major studios bending over backwards to accommodate her, the entire legacy media apparatus trying to prop her up, and a river of money all flowing her way. Then, it all kind of fell apart when everyone collectively...
Bioshock is sexist.
Nobody
this guy is protecting a woman this whole time that happens to be his daughter.
Oh my god.
Realized she was completely full of shit, knew practically nothing about the things she presumed to lecture
this video.
And her involvement in most major gaming projects was a kind of reverse Midas touch, turning gold into shit and profit into massive losses.
Yep.
So join me, your humble critical gamer, as we explore the crash and burn of Anita Sarkeesian.
Fuck that
Anita
bitch.
was born in Toronto, Canada in 1983.
Oh no, she's
the daughter
Canadian.
Of Iraqi Armenians who moved to the country back in the 70s. After finishing high school, she moved to California to study communications.
Of course, to California.
Moved on to York University, where she earned a master's degree in social and political thought in 2010.
What a useless degree.
Gender and identity politics was pretty obvious with her final thesis, I'll make a man out of you. Strong women in science fiction and fantasy television.
Nobody cares, bitch.
My name is Alex Carter. I'm the game producer of Foundation. Foundation is a sci-fi strategy experience where, from day one, you step into the role of commander.
What's that hairstyle? Bro, this is like, what, the 2000s probably.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
While finishing up her degree, she launched the website Feminist Frequency, dedicated to analyzing media from a feminist...
Yeah, they would just basically shit all over these, like, female characters in video games back in 2010 and think they were making a world of difference.
Yeah.
Where she did groundbreaking work like applying the Bechdel test, a widely debunked tool whose own creator admitted that it was done purely for laughs, in 2012, and breaking down the gender stereotyping in Lego bricks.
Lego.
Gender stereotyping in Lego bricks. What does that accomplish?
Absolutely nothing.
I played with Legos. I didn't care if
Legos are awesome.
Like, yeah, there were girl sets, but I would play with boy sets and girl sets. What the fuck does that mean? It means nothing. It literally means nothing. Fucking brick by brick, bro.
Yep, I'm being serious here. Yep. None of this made too much of an impact, but it did open up a new avenue.
That's the Harry Potter set! How is that gendered? Yo, little girls and boys loved Harry Potter.
For grifting. Sorry, media analysis. And that avenue was video games, a rapidly growing industry catering to a largely male audience and making absurd amounts of money in the process. And that clearly was something that needed correcting. In May 2012, Anita launched a Kickstarter campaign to fund a YouTube video series called Tropes vs. Women in Video Games, where she would break down various harmful stereotypes and depictions of women in sex and fixed.
Over the course of this series, I will be offering critical analysis of many popular games and characters. But please keep in mind that it's both possible, and even necessary, to simultaneously enjoy a piece of media while also being critical of its most aspects.
Shut up,
What
bitch!
exactly do you need funding to create the kind of videos that most content creators can make themselves for nothing? Don't know.
Because they're grifting. That's why. If you really truly care about something, you don't do it just for the money. It's kind of like my sentiment of, like, streaming. You do streaming with the aim of, like, doing it because you might make a little bit of money, but you don't want... Like, if you get clout, and you can quit your job along the way, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, I never set out to, like, be a full-time streamer. For me, it was just, like, extra income or no income at all. It's a privilege. But these people who are like, yeah, I need a government money so that I can make a analysis on how many polygons Lara Croft's booty has and how that's sexist and how we need to change it.
Just... don't worry about where the money went. Either way, the campaign was a massive hit and ended up raising over $150,000.
Oh my goodness.
Women rolled ahead with its first episode.
How much?
$50,000 and have hit and ended up raising over $150,000.
Dude, VTuber subathons don't make that much money. Holy shit, back in 2012? Yeah, it's probably more than that now.
Dollars and Tropes vs. Women rolled ahead with its first episode, Damsels in Distress, that came out the following year.
Lame.
Am I sexist? I like the damsel in distress.
Yeah, me too.
Trope. I want a man to save me type shit. Yes, I'm weird. I guess so. They hate virtual, but like I just don't get it. Like, yeah, sure, it's great to save yourself, but like, I need a hero. I also didn't think there's anything wrong with wanting to be a strong woman, but like to criticize it and say like you can't have this in any video game is so cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mostly superficial, highly biased, and easily debunked analysis of cherry-picked examples stripped of context, usually from games that had been made decades earlier, and tossed together with the kind of word salad.
We need to bring this back.
Yeah.
We need to bring
this
that
back.
But that could only come from a political science
This
degree,
art
but
style
what the
is so
fuck?
forgotten.
It was exactly what the legacy news media were desperate for. A chance to shame and browbeat an industry that...
And you know another thing? Is that all the women are hot, too.
Yay, hot women.
Now. The New York Times even called it essential viewing for anyone interested in video games. And one of their journalists even tried to call out Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto about the damsels in distress trope in the Mario games.
Because Peach is in a castle
He's a legend.
Save her from Bowser, who's a monster.
Yay.
You know what's funny? Women always criticize, and like, these women in particular, not all, but these women in particular likes to criticize and say, oh, why do you, like, want to be saved by a man? And I'm like, do you realize when I was a little kid and, like, I got stuck in a tree, or I got stuck in an elevator one time, do you know who was there to save me?
A man.
My dad pried open the elevator doors so that he could comfort me and have my mom shove her fingers through the opening because it made me feel better. Like, he couldn't open it because it was, like, actually, like, fucking stuck. But my dad opened it just enough so that my mom could reach my fingers in and tell me to not panic. Along with my friend that was there too. But like, I don't know, man. Like, it's like, it's the male comfort. Like, you want to be. It's the fucking male instinct.
Yeah.
I was so scared I got stuck. Yeah, me too. I was scared. I was like 8 years old. I was shitting my pants.
His response? I haven't given it a lot of deep thought over the years. Praised. Not everyone was riding the feminist frequency bandwagon though. As it turned out, Anita and her series had blundered right into the middle of the biggest online culture war of all time. Gamergate.
Yay,
Now, there's already
Gamergate.
like a million videos explaining this topic in way more depth than I ever could. The short version is that people began to notice that certain indie game developers were getting a suspicious amount of positive coverage from mainstream gaming outlets, which led to accusations of corruption, bias, and even sexual favors in games journalism.
Interesting how that's usually perceived as, like, bad, how, you know, they always talk about how CEOs abuse their power dynamic of, like, holding it over and lording it over women, and, like, you know, how it's bad to have a man that's, like, your manager, and how they can abuse that dynamic. But then when it's really convenient for you to use that, you abuse it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And eventually exploded into an all-out backlash against the creep of identity politics and feminism in gaming. And this was hardcore, man. Doxing, threats, harassment campaigns, mass flagging, review bombing, even criminal charges. It was all kicking off, and pretty soon the Tropes vs. Women series became another major target, along with its creator. Now, it goes without saying that I do not endorse this kind of shit in the slightest. Criticizing a person's ideas is perfectly fine, but actually threatening harm on them...
It's called the free market of ideas, but if you're fucking... Gonna expect people to be like, oh no, this is awesome, you're so right, queen. You're gonna get a lot of backlash. It's called the free market for a reason. Everybody's allowed to have their opinion, and so are you.
The real world is something very fucking different. Either way, though...
Your neighbors won't hear you screaming in pain. Yeah, I've had people telling me that I need to get bombed. Like, who the fuck cares? If you're schizo enough to write someone... I wouldn't fucking do that to her. I'm just gonna call her stupid, and her ideas are stupid.
She's stupid, and her ideas are stupid.
But I'm not gonna be like a childish baby and tell her to get hurt. It's the same people that do like that to me. Like, I just don't care. Like, okay, like you're schizo. You need help.
Schizo.
I don't take that as like an attack on like criticizing me. Like, I don't care. I actually like it when people criticize me, because then I can like farm content out of it, or people saying I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why I'm stupid, then we can have a conversation, but they never do most of the time anyway.
Because they're cowards.
I don't know. Fake death threats? Yeah, like, fake death threats. I mean, you can't really prove death threats, like, other than doxing yourself, so, like, I don't know. I'm sure she did get them. I'm sure she did. That people feel a lot of emotional hang up on, like, how she's ruined video games, but I would never take it too far, and I hope you guys don't fucking do that too, because that's just way too much.
I guess she was stupid.
Anita was able to spin all of this to her advantage with sympathetic news coverage and even an appearance at the UN to speak about online harassment. Now, if you were a Tim...
God. This is probably why AI started fucking banning you for saying the word...
foil hat enthusiast, you might even suggest that she courted this kind of online controversy and baited people into harassing her to prove her own point, and
yes, she did.
As a brave victim standing up to the online mob so she can milk all that sweet sympathy and donation money. But you know, that's just crazy talk. Before you could say gassed up mid, though, Anita and her Tropes series was the toast of the town in media circles, garnering millions of views, attending major speaking events, TED Talks, video game conferences, and basically anyone that would have her. Suddenly confronted by this tidal wave.
I don't know why she got so much attention from those videos. I never understood that.
Neither do I.
Sucking her off left and right.
Of media scrutiny and profit-threatening criticism, the gaming industry reacted exactly like you'd expect. They folded like a house of cards, and before you knew it, Anita was being...
Thanks, bros, but I'll take it from here. Thanks, guys, but I got this one. It's so condescending.
Touted as the new savior of gaming.
I have an attitude of, like, if a woman wants to try and help you, like, you shouldn't butt in and help her unless she asks for it. This is, like, the polar opposite, like, the flip side, where it's like, no, bro, I don't need your help. I'm a strong, independent woman. And it's like the coin. It's the other side of the coin of it.
The bringer of light and truth who was going to drag the industry away from sweaty teenage boys and horny middle-aged men.
Yeah, you wonder why 10 years later the game industry is fucking doing a complete backflip.
Into a more enlightened era of diversity and inclusion.
You sure
Fuck
about
diversity and
that? You
inclusion.
sure about that? You sure about that?
All was not well. The Tropes vs. Women series that had started with
It was
such
an
fanfare
epic
in
fail.
2013 was rapidly losing momentum. Views dropped off sharply from 2015 onwards and never really recovered. And
Yay.
the uploads slowed down drastically, with only 2 episodes getting released in 2017.
Lazy.
Ground to a halt. Well, that was a
I wonder why. Is it because everybody else started farming it too, or just lack of interest?
$150,000 well spent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anita's claim of being a lifelong gamer
Yeah, this is
right.
I don't know if he plays through it.
took a bit of a hit when
If he
footage
doesn't, I'll
emerged
talk
of her
about
running a workshop back in 2010, giving a very different story.
It's a soundtrack of one song, except I'm doing video games. So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually...
Loser.
Oh!
A soundtrack of one song, except I'm doing video games. So
Then
it's not exactly
fuck
a
off,
fandom.
bitch.
I'm not a fan of video games. Song, except I'm doing video games. So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games.
I'm not
Then
a fan
stop
of video
criticizing
games, but I'm
them.
gonna
Mind your own
criticize it, and I'm gonna
business,
shit
bitch.
all over it. This is what VTuber fans like to call a fucking tourist.
Tourists.
Everybody's allowed to criticize within their own fandom. You're allowed to say you hate an anime, but at least watch it, or partially watch it, or engage with other anime before you fucking open your stupid mouth. This dumb bitch doesn't even like them!
What a dumb
I learned
bitch.
a lot about video games in the process of making this.
You serious?
You
It also
serious?
turns out that mainstream media support is a fickle mistress, and if you don't have an actual fan base there to lift you up, pretty soon you're going to disappear into obscurity. And well,
Yay.
that's exactly what
Money's right up,
happened.
too.
A VidCon panel that she hosted in 2017 turned into a complete disaster when
Good.
almost nobody showed up except her own detractors.
Ooh, sexy pirate lady. Another sexy pirate lady. Ooh, sexy.
That is so good.
Yes.
That's so funny. No.
And she spent most of the event raging against them and dodging their questions.
Of course. What a
She
loser.
couldn't even keep her head on cool and just like argue with them or dismiss them. She
Because
freaked
she's
out
an
at them.
idiot.
By 2019,
Oh,
desperate for
yikers.
money and relevance, she tried to
Yikers.
publicly blackmail CD Projekt Red into a consultancy gig on their upcoming game.
And again,
Bad.
that is mafia type shit. Oh yeah, if you don't pay your fee, I guess I'll break your legs. You know, you don't need those. No, for real.
Cyberpunk 2077 saying, "Hey CD Projekt Red, I'm always available for consulting because it sure sounds
Don't
like
hire
you
this
it before
bitch."
the whole of the internet drags you for what sounds like some potentially sexist representations, which we all know you've struggled with in the past."
Yay.
What did you struggle with, buddy?
The whole strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
It was the social media equivalent of a protection racket.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, nice game you got there. Be a real shame if
But
something was to
broke its
happen to
legs.
it. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't work. CD
Yay.
Projekt Red and any other developers still interested in turning a profit avoided her like the plague.
Good
And by
for
the
them.
early 2020s, the culture had shifted, Gamergate and most of its major players had faded from relevance,
Yeah.
and feminist frequency was fading with it.
Yay.
It turns out that watching a bunch of bored, frumpy, middle-aged spinsters
Bunch
prattling
of
on about
hags.
media they rarely understand
They don't
wasn't a
care.
big hit with audiences. Views
Good.
plummeted, interest waned.
People can tell authenticity from like the first like couple of minutes of talking to someone about a hobby. Like, have you ever met someone who's just like an unironic LARPer? I'm not
Oh,
talking
I
about
hate
someone that
those
says like, yeah, I have a little
people.
bit of interest in cars, but like I don't know much, and like if they don't know, they won't talk out of their ass. Like, I've met LARPers. Live action role players, people have started calling them LARPers, people who like fake interests to like seem interesting or like get into like into a community or try to talk to someone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And in 2023, Anita announced that she was
interest
shutting
in
down
40K.
feminist frequency.
Good.
episodes.
Shut her
The
down.
excuse was burnout and exhaustion. The real reason? Nobody was fucking watching it. Where exactly is she now? Well, in 2023, she made headlines when she celebrated her 40th birthday by holding a wedding ceremony where she married
What did she marry?
Herself.
What a loser.
Guys, Pokimane actually did that after her. Chat. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Yes, yes, yes!
Oh my god, that might be the saddest thing I have ever heard.
It's
Honestly,
very
I can't
sad.
think of a better metaphor for modern day feminism than a single, childless, middle-aged woman marrying herself. From a career standpoint, she still
It's
kind
so
of exists as
depressing.
this shadowy figure on the...
And again, it's so funny because I've met spinsters before, and like they're not happy about it. They just kind of live their life. They might be a little bit like anal, as in like anal retentive, and like be a little bit weird, but they're just normal people. Maybe they didn't have kids or they can't. Some are bitter. Yes, I agree. I've met some that are bitter, but like I met a really nice spinster like when I was a kid growing up, and she was a teacher and she had a cat, and like she was just a nice lady. She didn't hate me. She actually really liked me. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, what happened to like just being normal? Why do you have to like constantly prove to the world that you're like super happy, like fuck everyone, fuck men, I don't need no man in my life? What's happened?
fringes of the games industry, limping along
The
with
internet?
the occasional
Yeah, I think so,
consultant gig
too.
on
I
small-time
do. The
indie
internet.
projects. But her days as an industry-leading cultural icon are long gone.
Yeah.
Looking back at it now, she was really just someone who happened to be in the right place at the right time, able to weaponize controversy and ride the cultural wave that came with it for a few years. A person with many supporters but few fans, who ultimately outlived her own relevance. That being said, the influence that she had on video games is arguably still being felt to this day.
I know, I hate it.
Her Spire. What's that game called again? God, Slay the Spire. So bad with names.
Hey, like it or not, Anita Sarkeesian made her mark on the games industry.
Why?
And it was not a pretty one.
How do you even consult for that? It's just
Anyway,
a fucking
that's all I've
little
got for
card
today.
game thing.
Go away now.
Like roguelike card game type buff game. How does he even consult for it? It can't have girls with it with big boobies.
We like big boobies.
Consult her or get no money? Yeah, or protection wreckage type shit. Ugh. Yuck! That age like milk? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like milk.
Everything is a masked creature or humanoid. Well, she has to make sure that they're all appropriate and they don't have titties out or anything.
Oh, no.
Yep.
We need titties out.
Pay us or we'll give you a bad review on our stupid blog. Grr.
No. Fuck you, bitch.
Nasty ass. Boom, boom.
Well, that's it for today's video, everyone. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. Peace out. See you in the next video. Bye.